The other night I was cooking dinner, cleaning the kitchen, feeding the dog, answering emails, watching a body cam video, and just generally doing that thing that you do where you somehow turn one task into 17 tasks, and then you forget what you're doing, but you're standing there holding a roll of paper towels, the fridge doors are open, and the entire junk drawer is dumped on the kitchen counter. If you know, you know. I wasn't being productive, I was haunting my kitchen. My husband, Doug, asked me what he could do to help, and I said, nothing, honey, just go sit down and relax. He looked at me and very quietly said, so to help you, I need to go away and leave you alone? And I'm standing there going, oh gosh, I was just emotionally clotheslined in my own kitchen. Because yeah, that's exactly what I did. I took a man who was standing in his kitchen trying to love me, and I turned it into him going away. And I didn't even notice I was doing it. It was the most natural thing in the world to just not let him in. Now, I've been with Doug for over 10 years, and if there's one human being on this earth that I should be able to say, yeah, can you actually go stir that? It's him. And I still can't do it without feeling like I'm inconveniencing him in our house at dinner time when he literally asked. My name is Sheila. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a guru. I'm just a midlife woman who's outlived a few identities and kept her sense of humor, which is a low bar, but I'm pretty proud of it. I'm on a continuing quest to figure out what really matters in life. I'm 55 years old, and I've only recently realized that I've been doing this behavior my entire life and calling it kindness, right? Calling it independence, saying that I was just being considerate. Those are not the right words. The right word is hyper-independence. Or is that 2 words? Now, it sounds like a superpower until you realize that you sent your husband away instead of asking him to stir the sauce. This isn't a video about learning to ask for help. This isn't a video about hyper-independence. This is about realizing that what I built, all this self-sufficiency, all this, I've got it, don't worry about me energy, it didn't protect me. It shut people out. Good people. People who were standing in the kitchen trying to love me right, and I kept handing them somewhere else to be. And I do it constantly at work, at home, with friends. But there's something that I figured out about all of this that I really wasn't expecting. And I'll share that with you before we're done. When I was working, I would work late into the night trying to figure something out rather than reach out and ask a coworker who already knew the answer. Not because I was dedicated, but because it would genuinely not occur to me to just ask someone. So I sat there, alone, with a problem that I'd been circling for 2 hours, Googling, trying things, starting over. I told myself I was a self-starter. I was independent. I don't need anything. That was my whole brand. I once spent an entire afternoon rebuilding something from scratch because I didn't want to ask the person who originally built it how it worked. And they were right there, online, green dot and everything. When I finally did reach out for help, she responded in like 3 minutes. To this day, I don't feel like I thanked her properly because I was still too busy feeling weird about having asked for help. And I took it home with me. Doug would offer to help, and I'd already have the whole thing mapped out in my head, right? All the steps, the order, the way I was going to do it. And then his offer would just kind of land flat on the floor because there was no room for it. I'd already filled up all the space. I'd already mentally done the entire thing. He'd say, oh, well, what can I do? And I'd say, oh, I've got it. Every time, I've got it. Like a reflex, like breathing. I've got it was just the thing that came out of my mouth before I even thought about whether I actually had it. I got it has left my mouth in situations where I absolutely did not have it. Medical crises, medical bad things, furniture assembly, a conversation with the IRS. I've got it. I once told a nurse that I was fine while she was actively doing a thing to me that was not fine. She looked at me, I looked at her. We both knew I was lying. And so I said it again. I'm fine. And with friends, when things started getting really hard this past couple of years, I got quiet. I didn't announce it. I just got a little slower to text back, a little less likely to pick up the phone. Because when you're genuinely in it, the money stuff, the job stuff, the watching your whole plan fall apart and trying to hold your shit together stuff, the last thing that you want is to call someone and hand them all that. You protect them from your mess. You protect them so thoroughly that eventually they stop asking. And then you're alone with all of it, and you wonder why nobody checked in on you. I did that. Me. I'm the reason that nobody checked in on me. I told everyone I was fine until they believed me. And then I was annoyed that they believed me, which is insane. I know, it's totally insane. I am extremely good at fine. Fine is like my native language. I have a PhD in fine. If fine weren't an Olympic sport, I would have been eliminated for being too advanced for the competition. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever told anyone that you were fine until they believed you and then been annoyed that they believed you? Drop it below, because I know I'm not the only one. And I could have kept going on like that forever, except something happened that made me realize I wasn't just doing this to myself. The thing that got me was that Doug wasn't mad, right? He wasn't mean about it. He was frustrated and he was sad. Honestly, he was freaking accurate. That's what he was. I still picture it, him just standing there. So you want me to go away and leave you alone? That's how I can help. Now, I don't think all this started as a choice. I think it started as a lesson. At some point, asking for help didn't work. Maybe it got ignored. Maybe it came back with strings, like the help arrived with a lecture attached, or a favor that you owed, or a look that made you feel like a problem someone was tolerating. And your brain, being the efficient little trauma processor that it is, just filed that under, don't do that again. So you stopped asking, and then not asking became normal. What genuinely did not occur to me until recently is what it feels like to be on the other side of that, to offer help to someone that you love over and over, and you keep getting thanked and sent away. Now, Doug isn't some sexy contractor that I hire occasionally to reach the high things or open a jar. He's my husband. He wants to be in it with me, and I have been very efficiently making sure that he isn't. When I told Doug that I was making this video, he said that he always thought that it was a control thing with me, that I needed to be in control of everything so I wouldn't let anyone else touch it. And I just sat there feeling, I was so misunderstood. I felt so misunderstood. I didn't even know where to start with that, because it isn't control. It's kind of the opposite of control. It was me trying so hard not to be a burden that I'd rather drown than ask someone to throw me a rope. It was me thinking that I was being considerate, being easy, not making my stuff everybody else's problem. He heard, I don't trust you to do it right. And what I meant was, I don't want to inconvenience you. It's the same gesture, but a completely different punchline. And the fact that the person who knows me best in this entire world had a completely different read tells you how long this thing can live. If he never mentioned it to me, I would have just kept bopping along thinking that I was being considerate. Same thing with friends. I went quiet because I didn't want to dump on anyone. But what I actually did was disappear on people who would have shown up in a second if I'd said the word. I know they would have. And I still didn't say the word, because somewhere in me, there's this deeply held belief that needing something makes me a burden. And I would rather be alone with something hard than make anyone feel obligated to help me with it. Now, I've had that belief for a very long time, and I really haven't ever questioned whether or not it was true. It's not being considerate, right? I've been calling it considerate for so long that I genuinely forgot considerate is supposed to go both directions. So how do you build something like this without noticing, right? Well, I didn't build it alone. I had a lot of help. We praise self-sufficiency like it's a virtue, when sometimes it's just what happens when you ask for help enough times and it doesn't work. Oh, she doesn't need anything. She handles it all. She's so strong. Sound familiar? And everyone says that like it's a compliment. Your boss says it. Your family says it. And you smile and think, yeah, I am. That's me. I've got it. Nobody asks you how you're doing because you've trained them not to bother. You're fine. You're always fine. You've been fine since the 80s and you're not stopping now. At work, the whole system backs it up. You ask for help and suddenly there's a story about you. Oh, Sheila, she can't figure things out. She's not as capable as we thought, right? And that story lives in someone's head and shows up later in ways that you can't predict and you can't control. So you don't ask. You figure it out yourself. And you stay late and you go home tired and you do it again the next day. And nobody notices because that's just what you do. That's just who you are. You're the one that handles it. And for people who grew up being told that their value was in their usefulness and your output, right, and what you could do for everyone else, needing something feels like something to be ashamed of. Like if you admit that you need something, the story falls apart. The story where you're reliable and capable and fine. The one you've been maintaining for decades. You can't let a little need mess that up. So you maintain it. And you get so good at maintaining it that you genuinely forgot that there's another way to be. A friend offered once to take me out to dinner when things were really hard this last year. And I told her that I was fine. I wasn't fine. And she knew I wasn't fine. I knew she knew I wasn't fine. And we both just let me lie about it. So I sat there feeling very proud of how little I'd burdened her. And she never asked me again. Nailed it. That's a spectacularly stupid way to win a contest that nobody else knew we were having. And then one day you're 55 and your husband's standing in the kitchen just trying to stir something, and you send him out of the room and don't even realize that you did it. I've been accidentally starving the people who love me of the chance to show up. And I didn't do it on purpose. I did it because it felt like the right thing, like the considerate thing, like the strong thing. That's the part that got me. I wasn't protecting anyone. I was just really, really good at being alone and calling it something else. And I wish I could tell you that figuring it out was the hard part. It wasn't. I still don't know how to let people help me yet. And I want to be honest about that. I'm not fixed. I didn't have a breakthrough in the kitchen and wake up a different person who lets people help her make dinner. I still catch myself saying, I've got it. I still go quiet when things get hard. I'm still learning that the people who love me don't need me to be okay. They just need me to be real. But I heard what Doug said, and I'm still hearing it every day. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to be let in. And I have been keeping that door so politely, so consistently shut that I didn't even know I was doing it anymore. The version of me that built all of this handled a lot, and I'm not mad at her, but she also built a life where nobody gets to show up for me, and I'm tired of living in it. It's not about needing people, it's about letting them help. If you're interested, I do offer one-on-ones, workbooks, and a membership, and my Substack is where the real behind-the-scenes talk happens. Links are in the description. If you like this kind of content and you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. Now, the unexpected part wasn't figuring out that I was doing it. It was realizing that the people I was protecting from my needs were the ones who actually wanted them. And if you're sitting there wondering why this one hit so close, why going quiet and the I've got it feels less like a habit and more like something you can't stop even when you think you want to, I think I know why. And we're about to talk about it here.